scenarios that you pick up for a coach, playing all off-season, personnel, scheming. You get a week before your first game and you put a guy at safety who hasn't played there since high school. You talk about the decision to try EJ there and how it worked out.
Well, first of all, you don't know if he only practiced there for a week. He was there a lot longer than that. So he actually worked there, and he actually did a nice job.
How would you gauge the defense the other night? I know was it you in your nickel package all night and all that. How do you, when you look back and how they performed, what did you think? And is it hard to gauge that because it was such a different offense and you weren't in your base package?
Are you trying to compare the Okie to the nickel?
No. I'm just curious how you gauge what you thought of the defensive performance. That, is it hard to gauge that because you weren't in your traditional defense a lot?
Well, obviously we didn't play very well in the first half for a number of different reasons, and we played much better in the second half. So that's probably how I judge it. It doesn't make a difference whether you were Okie, nickel, or whatever. It's just the bottom line is we didn't play very well in the first half, and we did much better in the second half.
I guess following up on that, because this is the first time you're going to use the defense that you envisioned for your team all year, do you look any differently at that game? And that you were kind of almost dictated to by their scheme?
No, you're not going to second guess us. I'd say we played the same defense in the second half we played in the first half, and we played it much better. Okay?
But I just want to Ray Jenkins played one snap. Most games, that's probably not going to be the case.
Well, I hope not, but it's one of those situations that we knew going into the game it was going to be that way.
Now, when you look at it, were guys in position just didn't make plays, or were guys out of position? What do you attribute?
We had a little bit of both. We had guys in position to make plays. We missed a bunch of tackles, and then we had guys that we were out of position, and not because we didn't rep it, and not because we didn't work it. It's because of the speed, guys with communication issues, and some other stuff, which we can take care of that, like we did in the second half. We did much better in the second half doing it.
Do you expect to have Merriweather back this weekend, and if you do, what difference does he make for you?
Well, I'd love to have him back. I haven't seen him play for so long. I'm not sure, but hopefully I said the same thing last week. I thought he was going to play last week, and he didn't. So we'll see.
Coming out in the second half, was there adjustments or things you said to guys to get things to click, or did they just kind of catch up?
We cleared some things up for him to make it easier, and we did some things on defense from a scheme-wise that helped them out. We actually did it about the middle of the second quarter. Yeah. First of all, I don't know what the hell EJ has to do with this game. He didn't do anything. He actually played well. So EJ had nothing to do with what happened in the first quarter.
Well, I'm not saying whether he played well or what not. He just said he hadn't played safety since high school.
All right.
He practiced until last week. So that seems a bit unusual.
For you, maybe.
Yeah.
If you're a football player, probably not. Are you going to talk about this week's game, or are we going to talk about last week?
Well, I was just going to ask you about EJ in general. What was it you saw out of him that maybe made him a more natural fit for that
He
position?
runs a 4.31. All right, that's why we want to get some more speed on the field. All right,
Coach. Considering Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers, obviously every coach likes a challenge. What challenge does that quarterback present you in that defense?
Well, he's probably one of the top two quarterbacks in the league, and you don't see too many people stopping him. And that's a great challenge for our defense because what he's going to do, they do a lot of the similar things. He checks off, he runs the show. You got to do a great job of giving him different looks. And he figures it out fast. This guy can do everything. He can throw it, they can run it. He's athletic, he runs. So this is a great challenge for us. And we played him a couple of years ago, but since then he keeps improving.
How hard is it to maintain your eye discipline and make sure you're not watching him scramble and buy extra time and losing focus of who you've got to cover in space for a second?
Well, that's a challenge because he takes off and runs, and balls are going deep. They're going to the sideline. His athleticism, keeps him alive in the pocket. So you got kind of the same challenges you had last week.
What does Eddie Lacy add to their offense?
Well, he's a tough guy, steady back, can catch a ball, pretty good blocker. Obviously, he's an upgrade from what they've had in the past, and looks like a good football player from what I've seen. Even Franklin, and the kid from University of Buffalo. I think they're all pretty good players.
So you give Aaron Rodgers a running attack like that. How much more difficult does it make your job?
Well, it obviously does, because now they can run the ball, and you can't line up an 8-man in front to stop the run. You got to, you got to kind of be careful what you're doing, but you got to pick and choose with this team.
Over the years, when your defenses go up against a predominantly passing offense, and like Green Bay has the longest stretch without a 100-yard back in the league, do you feel like you have to coach more to remind people, hey, they can still run the ball? It's just not what they
we
do.
always emphasize, trying to stop the run. Obviously, we didn't do a very good job last week, but that's one of those situations that you don't want to give every team the situation where they can do both, and you got to take something away.
A couple more guys.
Right?
Jim, asking McCarthy yesterday about your guys' relationship going back to New Orleans. He said that you probably know more about him and what he plans to do than what he would know about what you plan to do. Do you feel like that relationship helps you at all in a situation like this?
I used to sit in his meetings all the time. As a head coach, I would sit in the offense meetings on third down, red zone, so I know what he thinks. I don't know what the hell he's going to do, but I know how he thinks.
What'd you think of Barry, and was he limited at all because of the club? Did that change anything?
I think it was little. Yeah, I think anytime you have a club, you're going to be limited. He couldn't. Sometimes he had a hard time getting off blocks, and he missed a couple tackles because of the hand. But for the most part, he did all right.
Do you expect anything to be different about that situation this week?
I don't think. I think we'll be in that for a while. I'm not sure how long, but a while.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay. Thanks.